Hello everyone. In the power factor meter, we have already studied the working and construction of single phase power factor meter. We have studied that we can easily measure the power factor by using a wattmeter, voltmeter and ammeter. But there are some difficulties, so that we are going for the power factor meter. So just have a small recap of the power factor meter, that we are having a single phase power factor meter. This is a single phase, and in the main line it is the current coil, which is also known as fixed coil. It is divided into two parts. And it is connected to the load to create a fixed magnet. And the voltage coil is also divided into two parts, A and B. One is resistive coil and another one is inductive coil, which is having 90-degree phase difference in between that. And when the load power factor varies, then the voltage and current will vary. That's why the pointer will move accordingly. Clear? So this is the construction and working of single phase power factor meter. Now today we will go to the working and construction of three phase power factor meter. It is, try to understand, it is a same constructions like the three phase power factor meter, is almost similar to the say construction of the single phase power factor meter. Just have a small recap on the working of the three phase watt meter. The working of three phase watt meter, when there are the same line is there, but when the voltage coils are concerned, that the voltage coil having two lines, the coil 1 is connected to the another line and the coil 2 is connected to the third line. Clear? The main current will be flowing through the circuit and the other coils will be other. But here, in this case, here, what we are doing, here, also we are doing the similar thing. Like for the single phase power factor meter, as the fixed coil is divided into two parts, the main it is going to the single line. Now the voltage coil having two parts, okay. Now, but the difference between the single phase and three phase, that the both coils are having resistive winding. This is the main difference between the single phase and three phase. The coil is connected, coil A is connected to the second line and the coil B is connected to the third line. Okay, coil A here connected to the second line and coil B, the resistive line, is connected to the third line. Now already we can understand that as we are having the three phase power, so the three phase power, each power is 120-degree apart from each other. Try to understand. Each power is 120-degree apart from each other. So the coil has having a difference. Okay. Now, so no need to give the another inductive coil, which is also a resistive coil. And whenever the load power factor varies, it will move accordingly. Clear? So this is the working and construction of three phase power factor meter. It is very simple. That is, the main thing is the another important part, that is the three phase power factor meter we can use only for the balanced load condition. If the load is unbalanced, we cannot use this three phase power factor meter. We need to measure the power factor differently by using the voltmeter, ammeter and the wattmeter. Okay. So it is useful when the load is balanced and the moving coil is placed at an angle of 120 degrees. They are connected across the different phases of the supply circuit. So both the coil has a series resistance. Okay. This is the construction of three phase power factor meter. It is very similar to the single phase, but the only difference is where for the case of single phase we are having an inductive coil, but here for the case of three phase we can have both the coils are resistive in nature. Now the next part is the advantages and disadvantages of electrodynamometer type power factor meter. First point, for the case of advantages. Here the losses are less because of minimum use of iron parts and also give less error over a small range of frequency as compared to the moving iron type instruments. And they have high torque. Is torque is to weight ratio. Torque is to weight ratio is very high. So, so it is very means for the minimum deflection, the pointer will move. The disadvantage of the electrodynamometer type power factor meter are that is the working forces are small as compared to the moving iron type. The scale is not extended over 360 degree. It will extended over almost a half circle, not a 360 degree. The calibrated of the electrodynamometer type instruments are highly affected by the changing the supply voltage frequency. Okay, because the use of inductor will hamper. Okay, so as the inductor is there, so if the frequency changes, it will also change the single phase. They are quite costly as compared to the other instrument. Obviously, the power factor meter is quite costly compared to the other meters. Okay, these are the advantages and disadvantages of the power factor meter. Now we can have this. We have already completed the single phase and three phase power factor meter. Here, just go through, and if you are having any doubt, feel free to contact